What's going on, guys? Brandon and Jazz from Nerdlocker.com here. And guess what, Jazz?
What?
It's that time again.
What? Adventure Time?
Close. Time for comic book reviews.
Oh, sweet. That's good, too.
So I got a chance to catch up on Flash Gordon. I've always wanted to read this book. I mean, we're on issue 4 now. And I've wanted to pick this book up because the covers are done by Alex Ross. I'm always so hopeful that I can open up the first page and it's Alex Ross surprising us with doing the inside art, but that almost never happens. I did continue reading the book, though, and it wasn't half bad. The art's a little iffy, but once you get into it, you kind of follow the sequences because they're drawn out kind of well. There's lots of dragons and robots and plenty of Ming the Merciless, so it's the perfect Flash Gordon book you want to read. It's got everything you really want in Flash Gordon, so I would check it out. I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. So now that season 2 of The Walking Dead is done, we can focus our sights on the comic book, and I have to say it is fantastic. Number 95 came out this week, and it is chock full of violence and not even with zombies. I'm talking new characters. There are a whole bunch of new characters implemented in this issue, and there's a lot of new suspense, and I'm really interested in where this comic is going now. This is a whole new high for Walking Dead. I can't stress this enough. The arc that is going on right now is one of the best I have ever read. Robert Kirkman seems like he just breathed a whole new breath into this comic book, and I really think everyone should be reading it. I'm going to give it 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.
Hey guys, I got to read Aquaman number 7 this week. This has been a pretty incredible book thus far. Jeff Johns just taking a character I never cared about and turning it into something completely awesome. This is cool because this is definitely setting up for Aquaman's time, I want to say, before he was Aquaman. I mean, it looks like he's with a different League of Heroes, or was with a different League of Heroes, whether it's before the 5 years with the Justice League or after the initial start of that. I'm assuming it's before, but it's cool because we're getting more and more history about this character. He's doing exactly what he did with Green Lantern, where you just making it more and more interesting every issue. I'm giving this 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. I gave Ultimates number 8 a read, and that is an awesome decision. This book has been awesome. I really like that we're getting into kind of the climactic thing here with the Twin Cities and, you know, Reed Richards, and we got Hulk, and Reed Richards kind of shows Hulk that he's getting used again, and that, you know, no one really cares about the Hulk, but I see Reed Richards is trying to use that whole angle to get him on his side. I'm actually really stoked to see what happens out of this. I'm giving this 4 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. I gave Green Hornet 23 a read. I read this book a lot when Kevin Smith was writing it, and I kind of died off of it from there. It's not terrible. It's just nothing, you know, to get super excited over, to say, I guess. The end of this kind of leads up that we're doing the whole mistaken identity that we've seen with just about every other masked hero in comic books at one point or another. I mean, this isn't anything I'm really excited for. It wasn't terrible, but I'm just going to give it 3 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.
What's up, nerds? Jasmine here with my comic reviews for the week. First up is Elephantmen, number 38. I just started reading this comic a month ago, so I'm really excited that I was able to pick up what was going on so easily. In this issue, you find out who has been going around and killing people. Not that I know who she is, I have a lot of back reading to do, but I'm very excited. This book is really good. I didn't expect it, honestly, because I thought it was kind of a dumb concept, but now that I read it, I really like it. And the art's gorgeous, and it's actually very well written, and there's this crazy crime saga going on amongst all these crazy creatures, and it's really fun to watch. I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. Next up is The Flash number 7. I just finished reading it, and I love this comic. So many people are putting it like right in the middle of their New 52, and it's really the top end of my list. I love this art. I love the story that's going on. I love that it's different from anything I know of Flash because I haven't read like 25 years of Flash comics. So this is great for me, being that I've only been reading Flash for like a couple years. I love this book. As I said, the art's great. In this issue, a lot of crazy things happen, and the Flash has a lot of things that he's going to start regretting in the future. So I'm really stoked for what's going to happen in the next issue. You should definitely be checking it out. I'm going to give this 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. Alrighty, next up is Avengers vs. X-Men 0. I believe a few weeks ago I reviewed a Avengers book or something, and I gave the preview in the back for this comic a 5 out of 5, so you already know what I'm going to give it. Let me just tell you why I loved it. First of all, I freaking love Frank Cho art because everyone has huge thighs and it's great. I am not a Brian Michael Bendis hater, as I have said before, so this was pretty good. It started off kind of crazy for me. I love to see the Scarlet Witch back in the spotlight now, so I'm really stoked for everything that's going on. All in all, this has me so hyped for Avengers vs. X-Men, and I haven't really cared about a lot of Marvel events lately, so I'm really stoked to get back into things. Check this out. Even if you haven't been reading, I haven't been reading, check it out. It's easy to catch up. Do it. Do it right now.
Hey guys, this is Haley with my review of Moon Knight number 11, and I have to say, I've been loving this series, but I'm afraid it's starting to go downhill after not really enjoying the last one, and this one was really just a lot of action and not a lot of story. It was just kind of action, 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 and it didn't really get to a point. I still have hope for it, but I'm gonna have to give it 2.5 Nerd Skulls this week. Hey, this is Haley with my review of Morning Glories number 17, and this was my first time reading this series, and I was definitely interested. I really liked the way that it captured human nature. It was very different from anything I've read in a comic before, and that was what really pulled me in. It was just very dramatic from the beginning, and I was really intrigued by just how real these characters seemed. I also really liked the art. It seemed kind of, as a nerdy film major, it seemed very cinematic to me, which was really cool to see. However, I felt like the characters kind of talked in circles and there wasn't enough action. It was a lot of two people in the same room doing the same thing for the majority of the comic. But it definitely was good enough to get my interest and make me want to read the beginning, so I'm gonna give it 3.5 Nerd Skulls.
Hey guys, Gubby here with my comic review this week. I got to read Alpha Girl number 2. Gotta say, I was pleasantly surprised with this book. It's a zombie tale set in this crazy world where women are becoming crazy zombies through this perfume, this smell that's activating something in their brains, and they go crazy. But it follows this girl in this issue where she has not contracted this disease. She has no idea what's going on, and she's trying to figure out her way home, way to safety. Craziness ensues. There's a lot of death and murder and crazy zombie coolness. But overall, the artwork was amazing. It was really cartoony, very animated style, very stylized, kind of pin-up-y, but like a new age pin-up. I really enjoyed it. It gave the book a certain feel that was kind of not necessarily retro, but a little more nostalgic, but very, very modern at the same time. The story, the storytelling was okay. The pacing was very well placed, but the dialogue was a little weird, and it's kind of funny, but sometimes it was a little weird. But overall, I'll give it 3.5 Nerd Skulls.
All right, that's going to do it for comic book reviews this week. But until next week, be sure to check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, and nerdlocker.com for our nerdy news. I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Brandon, and we'll see you next week for even more comic book reviews.